Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.
Program today. So today we want to work on designing a program. So the lecture today is supposed to be Win Your Program. So when we start and say what is a program, or what is an offer of a program?
So program different from a workshop.
It's a good question. It's a good question, but
So can it be like a certain number of days, or it could be online, or
the question is, what is a program? So what's your program?
okay.
My program is agenda to my workshop.
It can be an agenda to your workshop. It can be a training program. However, you have to understand that when we talk about a program here, any introductory event happening to this program is a standalone event. So to give you an idea, if you want to make an introductory seminar to your program, so this introductory seminar must have a standalone value for people to come to attend and walk away with the value. Okay? So many of us will go and say, like, I know some around the table will say, what's the title of your seminar? They will say the same title as the program. From Optic's perspective, if I come here for free or pay you $100 or pay you $20 or whatever numbers, and I pay value for this title, why will I join this title later on?
So that first program is to identify a reason for joining the bigger program.
Yes. So whoever in the webinar business, in the seminar business, to lead to their own training program or their own one-on-one or their own service program must understand that these are standalone offers. Each one of them will have benefits. And each one of these offers must be attractive, and whoever will come to these offers, they will walk away with 100% value. Can I repeat again? Can I repeat again? When I cascade people through events or through offers to lead to my program, each one of those must have a complete value offered different than my program. So, for example, if one of these is my website, when people come to my website, what they will see? They will see blogs, they will see information, they will see videos. These videos are sufficient for them to understand what? The need for this program. If I offer all the values on my website, will people come and buy this program?
No.
So if I invite you to an event called Stand Out Not to Blending, understand the value of standing out not to blending, you will walk away from this seminar with knowledge ready to apply to be able to identify yourself and stand out from your own tribe, so people will come to you as authority. And this is a 90-minute seminar. So this kind of seminars here, which is 90-minute seminar, it's a complete offer with complete benefits, with hands out, maybe with videos, with everything. So people will come and take it and will walk away with it. However, to implement, you should come to a workshop of 3 days to understand how you can implement and what do you need to implement. Then, to understand the details of implementation, you should join the 12 months program. However, if you come to any of these, you will walk away with all values. Is it clear? So, yeah, go ahead.
What's the second one? Website and then go.
So you can go from a website to a 90-minute seminar to a 3 days workshop to offer a full program. Okay? It's the same thing if you have a one-on-one. So if somebody will offer here one-on-one, how you recruit people to one-on-one? I know here in this side, she will do a complimentary session. So in another model, this is the orange model. So it will be a complimentary session. And this complimentary session can lead to entry-level workshop or to one-on-one. And there's also another advanced level workshop here. So the website or the presentation here, the info nights here, or the website will lead to a complimentary session. And this is an enrollment model. This is an enrollment model. Does it make sense? So when you design any pieces lead to your program, you have to keep in mind that these offers are complete offers. People will walk away with the value. Any questions?
What happens if you miss one of those? You have to have all those parts, right?
You should have as many as you can from these parts, and you should also plan that 80% of your audience will come through a specific channeling or chain of command here. But you can always have the odd ones which will jump the pipe. Like if I go around the tables here and say, how many here we just attended my workshop? I don't think any of people in this room attended my workshop. Okay. Some of you attended my intro night. Some of you came without even the intro night. So, but if I want to design it, I have to design it in a way that 90% will go, which means that if I will use seminars, I have to keep doing it. If I use the workshops, I have to keep doing it. So I have my coming workshop in March, on March 2nd to March 4th, and I do like 4 to 6 workshops, every year to channel individuals to my program. So if you plan to do seminars to recruit people and you don't do seminars, you will not get people to the program. If you plan to do workshops and you don't plan to have workshops, you will not get people to the program. Is this obvious? It's not necessarily obvious to everybody. The hardest time will be around, like we're talking today about December and January, because in December and January people are not in the mood of going out to be channeled into a program. That's why, okay. The same thing, if you are selling a product, if your offer here is to sell a full product, if I'm selling here a product, or I wanna sign partners, because I may wanna sign contractor, I may wanna sign installer, I may wanna sign a partner who will carry my products. How you will channel them? If you will channel them through Lunch and Learn or a seminar, so I have to have here maybe Lunch and Learn, Maybe another one, maybe it will be a community or society seminars. So I can channel these people in this way. However, whoever come to this lunch and learn, they must walk away with a value. Like, for example, learning about this product, learning about the challenge. This is why when we design these programs, we keep in mind that people comes here to understand what they are missing. That's right. So you should sell them on pain. Sell them what are the problems they face. So when they know the problems here, they can identify you as a good source for service. I heard over the last few sessions that someone was putting the seminars as the title of the book or the title of the offer, of the title of his program. And I don't want to interrupt and say this is not the optimal way of doing it. So when I ask, if I ask you what will be your introductory title, the title of your introductory session or seminar or webinar, it must not be the title of the workshop or the program. So if you are giving a consultation program or a subscription program, it cannot be the same title. Does this make sense? So who can apply this, or who finds this is relevant to whatever he's doing? So how will you apply it?
Well, having different titles for the different stages of getting to the workshop is, it starts with me, it starts with people I talk to. And that's a freebie type affair. And then afterwards, the website is something that I'm working on right now. Will disclose some of the values of this of this program. I like the idea of a program. And then one-on-one sessions, people ask for that sometimes right away.
Yeah, sometimes people ask for this right away, and the question will be is how many of them will actually sign, not they ask.
Oh, I mean, let's say, yeah.
So many of us will face an intelligent audience who has the issue is the audience will have the problem. That's right, and the audience will not act to solve the problem. And the audience are not interested to learn what is the problem. So some of them will come to you and say, what is your one-on-one offer? Okay, so you have to make a choice if you want to give them the one-on-one offer or you want to channel them to your workshop. I usually channel people to my workshop, because I found out that repeating the same principles for people up front is too much. It takes very long. Like we talked about maybe primarily like 5 different models, like you remember this $sign relationship, whatever, and the brain thing. So we talked about like 5 models. These models came in a sequence of messages where makes you open up to understand these models, about benefits, about how you can make a decision, how you can trigger somebody. So if I want to come on one-on-one and show you these models, how long this will take me? And then can you afford paying for that? The answer is not necessary. That's right. So the goal today is to design a program, and I would encourage you to work with the partners to come up with, this is my program. Just for you to know as well, we talked about selling through presentations, or how to set up a presentation which can sell a product at the end of the day. So selling through presentation will only cover these 90 minutes. So this is selling through presentations. which is the workshop we had, like I believe back in November, or the sequence we have. We did not discuss with this. I did not discuss with this group the 3 days workshop layout and why is 3 days. And there's only one individual where we start to talk about how I can design a training service and what are the storyboard for these sessions. So when we talk about info nuggets, about hooks, about the things which I explained before, they will only target this 90 minutes lunch and learn introduction. You should only apply this to this particular level. And if you have sessions within your program to sell a product, you apply these concepts. But if you design a program, there is a different storyboard, which I will share with you in the coming few weeks, how you can, what are the different philosophy and different thoughts about using this particular storyboard. And if I have time today, we can share with you a little bit on it. Okay? Any questions? So we talked about how to do a website and what's the concept of website. We talked about books at certain points. We talked about few things. But I want to just make sure you remember that whatever we talk about the sequence used to be for this particular step. When we talked about info nuggets, about hooks, about challenges, they were only for these steps. Okay? And if you are giving a lunch and learn or you are giving a seminar, I would recommend you to visit this particular piece of the program.
Are you talking like an online webinar?
If you are doing an online webinar to sell a program, you should consider the selling through presentation workshop we had here.
You said to use the selling through presentation to prop up the lunch and learn.
Yes, because at the end of the lunch and learn, what you will do, you want to sell this program.
Isn't the lunch and learn the presentation?
Is a presentation to sell a program. So whenever you are in the selling mode, not in the content delivery mode, you should consider the selling through presentation sequences, which I shared with you guys before.
So is that at the same time as the lunch and learn, or is it two different?
No, at the same. The lunch and learn will be just selling through presentation.
Okay.
So you can sell through presentation in a lunch and learn, in a seminar, or in a webinar.
Okay.
And these webinars are aimed to move somebody through this line to the program.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
When we talk about call to action, clear offer, how to repeat the offer, what the guarantee you provide, it comes through this particular step. Okay? Any confusions? Any questions?
So that you, like, if you had a 90-minute seminar, the first 45 minutes is your seminar, and last 45 is selling the program?
No. No, there is a complete structure. You use basically it's a 90 minutes. The last 10 minutes to sell the program. However, you market for the program is 90 minutes. So, but there is a sequence. There is a flow of sequence, about 17 steps, I believe, where you should go. I'm not asking you to adopt these rules. Just be aware of it. It will help you prepare your message in a format which will allow us to sell more people. The closing rate for these particular sequences are somewhere between the 50 to 90%, if you can master it. And there are individuals who are not here right now, but in this program who are able to achieve up to 67%. You got maybe 7 out of 9 one time, So these sequences, it will help you crafting the message in a sequence to sell. Today, I want to focus on the program itself.
So the program is the offer, the product being offered.
The product being offered.
Okay.
And the product being offered, it can be a training, it can be a product, it can be a one-on-one, it can be whatever you select to be. But you have to have clear vision. And if somebody will come and say, oh, I can do workshop or one-on-one or group or whatever, I can do everything in life, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you have enough lines here. And when you talk about it, you talk about one. You don't talk about all of them because you'll confuse everybody. So if somebody will come and say, I can do a sales training, okay, but also I can teach you one-on-one how to do sales, okay, and also I can do it for your corporate, or you can come join my sales training team, my sales training customers, okay. So now you give me 3 options. Which option I will select? The number 4, which is not talking to you. The practice demonstrated that whenever you give so many options, you will show you are so desperate, and when you show you are so desperate, people will not admire somebody desperate. I don't know why. They don't. Why you smile?
Same as dating.
Actually, the formal introduction said it's a marriage proposal from the guy or a girl you have been waiting for your whole life. Show how can you construct an offer that your prospects won't refuse. Okay.
See?
So if you want to use
That's why I
this,
was smiling.
if you want to use this metaphor, yes, this is our dating the clients or teaching the clients or giving them information, and then the marriage will happen when the exchange of money will happen. Okay? So if you are giving a change management workshops or a change management program, what kind of messages you can provide here? What kind of messages? The challenges in a change management.
Yeah.
How you lose money in a change management.
You identify the problems.
You talk about the pain. You talk about the problem, you talk about the pain.
Exactly.
And your titles shall be the pain-driven titles. It's nothing different than a blog. So if you have a blog here, the blog on your website, if I use a blog here, the blog talks about what? About the solution or the pain.
Right.
Okay? Even if you show a solution, you don't, do you usually elaborate on the solution? No. We always try to be concise, because if I want to know how to solve my problem, I should come to
The workshop.
I should come to you, yeah. I should come to you to the workshop. Okay? Each one of these, if you have these lines in this way, each one of these should have a clear call to action, even here. Because if somebody got a good service from you, what's your call to action? Can you give me a referral
Yeah.
to somebody?
Testimonial.
Okay? Can you tell me, do you know somebody else who will need this service? That's right. So a call to action is one primary one. Any questions? So the first element of any offer is we want to make sure that people want to buy. So can you, in your notes, just take a minute and write why people wants to buy your offer. Why people wants to buy your offer. wants to share why people they won't buy his offer?
Because just speaking with you and expressing your offer, they realize that what you offer will make their life easier. It will bring them a greater understanding of what they don't understand.
Okay, what else? Because remember, why people buy, there are 4 quadrants. So they make their life easier. It's a relationship driven. They don't understand, it's a process driven.
And then they'll make more money more easily.
Okay.
And they'll save time. They'll finish. If there's a time element in what they're doing, they'll improve that. They'll ensure they meet their time element.
Okay. So who's here wants to talk to Claude about this? Like, do you feel intrigued at whatever he said? He has an offer which will make your life easy, make you understand whatever you don't understand, you help you make money and save your time. Does this intrigue you to learn more?
I would say yes.
Okay.
I would say no, it's too vague.
No.
You know, he
Okay,
knows that.
so these are two excellent feedback, you know.
Yes,
If it's too big, you should be able to
Ask questions.
narrow it down to the target, or to what we call it, the right people. So who are the right people to buy your offer? Who are the right people to buy your offer?
You gotta identify that in your problem pain statement. Okay?
So who are your right people, the right people to buy your offer?
Well, I have professionals that are in transition and have been affected by the marketplace
Okay.
and want to improve their value or their workplace value.
Yeah.
And then change in the marketplace has affected business owner sales. So if there's a change in the marketplace that's affected their company sales. I'm missing parts there.
So are 2 different people.
Yeah.
Do they meet together in one spot? Do they believe that the same offer will serve both needs? Just a harder question this time, right?
They do from the title.
Like, do they believe? This must repeat. Do they believe that somebody has a unique or a universal offer will serve both of their needs?
So when we speak online, so I use like change, goals, and technology, and then you say.
Don't justify. Just
Okay,
either yes or no.
Question.
I'm just sorry. I don't want to be hard, but I want to make sure
Probably no.
you guys understand. What are the right people? Like, can you spend like
Right.
1 minute, 2 minutes, and just say who are the right people here who wants to buy my offer? And if you put more than 1 right people, this will be the rights people. That's right. You cannot have rights. You can have right one right people.
Right.
And the program should be designed to 1 right group. So if you plan to hire or to join partners or installers or people who work for you to carry your solutions, are different dialogues than homeowners or than architect or than whatever. So if you have a change management solutions, who are the right people who wants to buy your solutions? If you are a transformational coach or a behavior coach or love your life or Ignite from Inside Out or whatever program you are offering, who are the right people who wants to buy your service? Who are the right people?
Who are the right people to buy my service?
Yeah.
People who've hit a brick wall emotionally and they can't get past anything and they
Okay.
just need a breakthrough.
They need a breakthrough. So these people are struggling with life. So he's not selling a business owner, that's right?
Well, you asked me about that, but business owners also fit into that.
Okay. So will business owners believe if I have a generic message that my offer will serve them as well or as good?
No, it's not be targeted.
Okay. Will divorced people believe If you are giving a message to business owners that I will fit,
No, they won't.
do you understand what you are doing to yourself when you articulate your offer? Like I like someone who wants to sell car dealerships. That's it. Not motorbikes, not golf carts, it's just car dealerships. It's very clear. There are so many segmentation you can do even there, you know. However, what are the right people? Now, if you serve somebody with like business services or like accounting, bookkeeping, there's a different accounting, bookkeeping for entrepreneur, for a small business, for medium business, for trucking company. That's right. Trucking company is completely different bookkeeping because the trucks, when they go through provinces, they are under different taxes and tax brackets based on how long they drive in the province. So if a truck will come from Nova Scotia to Victoria, and this will be the geographic test. He will be in Nova Scotia. He will go to then he will go to
New Brunswick.
before New Brunswick. He will go to Newfoundland. Then he will go to Princess Edward Island. Then he will go to Quebec. Then he will go to New Brunswick. Then he can move back to Ontario, and then he will go to Manitoba. Then Saskatchewan. Then Alberta. Then British Columbia. Then Victoria. Each one of those will have a different tax brackets. So for a trucking company getting coast to coast, they need to have these books of logs for drivers because the amount of taxes they pay the government is function of how long their assets, which i.e. their trucks, are getting there. And with HST and GST and all kind of interesting Canadian stuff, it become more difficult. So if you are a bookkeeping accounting for a trucking company, will a small business owner does not run trucks will trust you can do the service? The answer is no. That's right. So when you talk about who are the right people to buy your offer, you have to be very specific. And these right people will have one message. So if I have a small business owner services, I have to declare what is a small business means. So I come and say, yeah, I serve a small business corporation which has less than 100 employees, or it has less than 50 employees. The government will support small business who have less than 50 employees and will have less than $5 million revenue. That's right. So who are the right people who wants to buy your offer? Can you just write it down?
How do I identify which offer I want to present? Which one do I pick for today?
You should pick up whatever offer, the one you are working on, like one offer.
Okay.
And I believe if you work on the one which you plan to do online, it will help you pushing it because
Okay.
if you bounce back between different
Yeah, got it.
offers, right?
Yeah.
So what's your offer, Rob? Who was your right people to buy your offer?
Project managers, estimators are the two that I'm focusing on today.
Project management and estimators. Okay.
Essentially my lunch and learn on Wednesday.
So what kind of tools you need to get these people so these people can go and get you more customers?
They are the customer. They will direct. They are. I am selling to them.
You are selling to them. Okay, that's good. If you are not selling to them, you need to prepare material to show them how to sell to their other customers. If you have partners and people signing for your service, you must do a sales training for them how to sell your products. That's right. So, who are your right people?
I'm struggling with it. So I have people who have anxiety and are depressed and are struggling with relationships. So
Okay, this is great. And why they want to buy your service?
to feel happy and at peace and create wonderful relationships.
Okay. Great. Great. Any more discussion on this particular piece?
Yeah, for me, it's a large construction corporation, and how they can
We talked about here people.
the people in a large corporation.
There is no people in large corporations. There is management. There is specifics.
Management in
Management.
large corporations.
Yeah. So what kind of management? Who are they? Are they VP operation? Are they?
They are district managers.
They are district managers. So you just have to make it here district managers in large corporation.
Okay.
That's right.
Can I say what I got? Cause I think
Sure,
I'm totally
sure,
lost.
sure, sure.
Cause I still have these two groups, but I have to decide on one. So service-based business owners that want to grow their sales through changes in goals and technology. There's no pain.
So service.
Service-based.
What kind of service?
Like retail, restaurant, hospitality, service-based.
So it's hospitality based or food outlets or pizza places.
Retail, restaurant. Yeah, any service-based, small, single.
It's not any service because if I'm a car dealer, if I'm a car fixing, I'm a service. That's right.
Mhm.
If I'm a car wash, I am a service. So remember we talked about people are ignorant, and the ignorant needs one message. So if you cannot say who are the right people who wants to buy your service, we start to have the discussion like why people wants to buy your service. So who are the right people who wants to buy your service?
I don't know, it varies all the time.
If it varies all the time, it means you don't have a program. It means it means clearly you have an issue with this line.
Means you haven't done your market research.
I get lots of random people in. Like I worked with so many restaurants. I just closed 15 or 17 now, which means I had 17 customers as a restaurant owners. Okay, and but my main line is not serving restaurants. My main business is serving coaches and trainers and people who sell knowledge and information product and show them how to sell these programs more effectively, more efficiently. So I can get still random services here, but this is not my main line. So if you say I have people all over the place, it means you cannot scale. You will not be able to scale up and have a reputation in a specific market.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So here's a few of them I came up with. Entrepreneurs who want more family time. Entrepreneurs who are probably overpaying their taxes. Entrepreneurs who wish to avoid troubles with CRA. Entrepreneurs who don't have a bookkeeping system. Entrepreneurs who need to maximize their time.
So in summary, who are you serving?
Entrepreneurs.
That's it. This will lead to another question which was not planned to have it here, which is a very difficult question. Do they identify themselves as entrepreneurs? So before you jump with an answer here, I have to share with you this story. I stand on a stage and I say, who is here has a small business? Raise your hand. So small business owners raise their hands. I said, who is here entrepreneur? Raise your hand. Who here has less than one employee? So there are individuals who raise. What do you mean less than one employee?
It's you.
You are the business, right? So I asked the question, who is here as solopreneur? Solopreneur is somebody in a business on his own. So if a solopreneur exists in the business, in the room, sorry, he will raise his hand 4 times. The 5th question was, who here raised his hand more than 2 times? Unfortunately, not many people raise their hands more than 2 times because In the marketplace, I identify myself as entrepreneur or as small business owner. How do they identify themselves? To listen. So when you talk about entrepreneurs, is this word attached to a government funded program where people will come for free? Or this word attached that you will invest in getting services in? You have to be careful. I don't know. I have no answer for this question. But it will come through your marketing, because sometimes we go and market our offers for individuals or experts. And somebody will come and say, oh no, but I have a training business. Yeah, but you fit in the offer. But say, no, you are only working with individuals. So it's the same for entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs is one of this word which is we couldn't understand. We know the source out of it, it's how it started back in 1979, I believe the first article came with this word, and have been overused and abused and misused and all kind of usage for it. But does anybody of your customers identify themselves as entrepreneurs?
So you're saying small business owners may be ignorant that they're actually an entrepreneur as well?
They are not ignorant, they don't identify themselves as that.
Stereotype. Want to think they're
Okay.
bigger. Want to think they're bigger than an entrepreneur.
Like there are some Flames fans who don't identify themselves as a hockey fans. They are Flames fans, that's right? That's right. Did you meet somebody who they just Flames fans? They are not a hockey fans. When people say hockey fans, they come here, they will not come because they are only Flames fans, and the Flames is playing hockey, you know. Is this right? Did you see this before?
No.
Okay.
Well, I would identify myself as a Flames fan, but not a hockey fan.
Yep.
Seriously. Like if you tell me that the two hockey games, two
Penguins and
teams
the
are
Islanders
playing,
are playing. Who
they're
cares?
playing. I wouldn't know, but if Flames are playing, yeah, I might be interested. Unless it's the playoffs or something. So.
Do you see? So one thing when we design these programs, and you understand the characteristics and whoever will be coming to or should get value from this program, you should be able to ask them how they identify themselves. Entrepreneurs is one of these keywords which is completely confusing. And there are entrepreneurship centers around town. How many single service providers like accountant, bookkeeping, lawyers, how many of them will go there with intention to learn how to grow their business? And how many did you meet who will go there to sell their services from the same three categories? So when you go to entrepreneurship center, you see this guy who is just a sole actor. He's a solo actor in his company. He's an accountant. He does nothing as an accountant. How many partner or employee does he have? Almost none. He has nobody than himself. And he will be sitting in the room. Is he sitting in the room to learn how to grow his business, or he's sitting in the room to try to prospects or find customers for himself? 80% of them are what? Coming to learn or coming to offer services?
Offer services.
That's right. Which means they don't believe that entrepreneurship centers is for them. They are a fishing pond for them. They are not like to be the fish in the pond.
So you should be in a networking program rather than an entrepreneur center.
They go to entrepreneurship center because they want to fish in the pond for their customer, for their future customers. However, some of them, if they sit and listen how to sell and they apply the tools, they will sell people much better way, but they don't do that. They are programmed that they are not entrepreneurs. I'm not sure why you picked up this word, but so if you want to overcome that, you have to say small business owners and entrepreneurs. The solution is not difficult. The solution is not difficult.
So you say one or the other.
It can be one or the other, but if you target this individual, because I know what the targets are,
Yeah.
So the targets are small business owners or people who wants to start a business who can be also an entrepreneurs. By the way, is a consultant an entrepreneur or not?
I would say it is.
But will a consultant identify himself as entrepreneur? How many of you here identify themselves as entrepreneur?
Will a consultant
Will-
consider themselves an entrepreneur? No.
They will not. Consultant will not.
They're, like I say, it's a status. It's a stereotype. They're not an entrepreneur. They're a consultant.
They're a consultant,
Because
right?
it sounds better in the industry. Well, they think it sounds better.
Okay. So if you are also serving consultant, you should list it there. Always understand how your customers identify themselves. When we go around and we offer services for individuals who have emotional issues, we always talk about there are people who are divorced, which is we understand, and there are people who had a breakup relationship, which we know, and there are also people who are single, which we understand. And what's the difference between somebody single and somebody break up a relationship and somebody just divorced? The three of them are single, that's right. Maybe yeah, because you have kids, you are not single. I don't know, but the three of them are the same status quo. The three of them, they need help because they are living on their own. They have emotional triggers which they need treatment. But if you offer service for singles, and somebody, she doesn't have any girls or any kids, and she just divorced and she lives on her own. She, oh no, I'm not single anymore. I'm divorced. Okay, why? She labeled herself as divorced. She doesn't like to label herself as single.
The single sounds immature, less experienced in terms of less life experience.
So if you stand there and you want to sell programs to single, will a divorced one comes to you?
It's going to be tough because depends on your messaging.
Okay, you see? So if we have this discussion, guys, it means what? It means they will not listen to me. When you come and say, I offer a change management to a big corporation, to large corporation, a 20 people company who just hire thousands of subcontractor, but still 20 people company, 20 people company will not define themselves as a large corporation. However, they can manage millions and billions of dollars of constructions, but they still 20 people companies. If these are not your target market, it's okay. But if you say, I am as a large corporation, they will never identify they need your service. Do you get it?
I get it.
How do we know how our customers label themselves? By asking them the question.
Market research.
No, by asking them the question. So if I wanna call you, should I call you an entrepreneur or a small business owner? Oh, I like to be a small business owner. Okay, now we understand. He's not an entrepreneur. Now we understand we have to go and revamp or add this particular keyword. Will entrepreneurs have money to buy?
Never.
Well, that's an interesting question. Entrepreneurs bring up a whole bunch of other stuff, right? In terms of the labeling. So if you say I'm a small business owner, your mind goes to you've got bricks and mortar and you've got a business that's viable. If you say entrepreneur, you're just a mover and shaker and you kind of sell and buy businesses. You're no longer stable in any one area. So that's the kind of things that dredges up for me when you think about the two different distinctions. I don't know if anybody else.
And also entrepreneurs will always have because of business links and entrepreneurship centers and all kind of free government program which is not effective doing anything other than burning our tax money and giving us free food and free events, all of these programs build a perception that an entrepreneurship services will come for no cost or no value exchange from the entrepreneurs. The fact is you have this ATBX and you put 20 people, 25 companies for 3 months free coaching. It does not serve them because none of them really made progress after they left, and few of them actually 6 months later they just stopped doing what they were doing. But it takes away from their mind that they need to be accountable for the service and pay somebody to get services. Okay? So this is one, also another thing. If you talk about entrepreneurs, you may set up yourself at the low cost. Because if somebody's serving entrepreneurs, will you accept him to charge you $200 an hour?
Say that again?
Will you know that this guy working with entrepreneurs, will you accept him charging $200 an hour?
Depends on the value of the service.
But he's working with entrepreneurs.
So you, yeah.
Will he work with startup companies? Will you expect him to charge $200 an hour?
If he works with startup companies, obviously, you know, he's working with companies that they're not able to pay him, the cash flow issues and all that. So what are they paying him? How much are they paying him? You know, there are different arrangements. Are they paying him on commission?
Sure. You deal with entrepreneurs or small businesses, and how much do you think I think you charge when you tell me those two differences? So when you say you work with entrepreneurs, what do I think you charge per hour? And when you say when you work with small businesses, what do I think you charge per hour?
Yeah.
No, that's a good question. I
Yeah.
think if I say I'm working with small businesses, you'll probably have a bigger.
$100-$200 an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you work with entrepreneurs,
So now it's
maybe $20.
Or you
an hour.
work with
Start
startup
50,
companies.
or
That's
startup
right.
companies.
Or
yeah.
startup companies.
Or working for equity.
Yeah.
Or stock options or something.
Entrepreneurs. yeah.
So you can pick up one word and you say, I help entrepreneurs. And all of this perception may or may not flow through the mind of the audience. We don't know.
So from what I hear you saying is stay away from the word entrepreneur because there's too much variations on the perceptions. Whether it's
Or-
salary, whether it's vision, or whether it's
Yeah.
who
Or
you're
accept the risk and address the risk in your messages.
right.
Yeah.
So entrepreneurs who secured investment, like somewhere in the messages. But if you leave it as entrepreneurs, if you leave it as a large construction corporation, I don't want to pick up on entrepreneurs and so on. I want to pick up on your choice of the word must be vetted and practiced and
Okay.
sought after with a group like us.
Right.
High net worth entrepreneurs. Another one.
So what they
Right,
mean
is it clear?
high net worth individuals?
High net worth entrepreneurs means they've got money coming out of the yin yang. They can afford more.
And you've clarified
Yeah.
entrepreneur.
Yeah, it's not a startup. People who are just
Startup entrepreneur, high net entrepreneur.
Sometimes we say we work with the startup companies after the validation phase of their technology, which usually means what?
they've got money coming in.
They have money coming in or they are on the verge of getting money coming in. Okay? So when you define the right people to buy, you have to make sure that you select the right description which will let people have the right perception of what you offer. So I'm not saying you stay away from entrepreneurs. I'm not saying you stay away. Like you may say, I want to work with entrepreneurs, small business owners who will have at least $1 million in revenue, or between $500,000 to $1 million in revenue. Does this fit your target? So anybody who's still starting right now, they will not come. However, because you are offering an incorporation and the corporation thing, people will not have revenue before they incorporate this, right? So you have to identify your target market with the right message. Don't discount entrepreneurs. It's a good word. I love it. However, and I don't want to get into the discussion, is what is the formal definition of an entrepreneur? You'll find like so many definitions around from Europe, from different places, and
Used to be the first one to start up a new innovation or service, but the government's changed the words. It's become so commonplace and used everywhere that it's been.
yeah. So if you go to Wikipedia, and Wikipedia used to have in 2012 used to have a description that he's the guy who will see the unseen, and this is a guy who will have a different way of thinking. He is thinking a different way. He will not have harmony with his groups because nobody understands him. Like when I read the description one time in a lecture in 2012, I said like this particular description will definitely say it's not me. Because if I see the unseen, it means I see stuff here you guys cannot see. So I'm crazy. If I'm visionary and see whatever, and if I believe in something which nobody else is believing, it means I'm idiot. You know, like I was like going through the definition. I said the biggest challenge for this community was the definition of an entrepreneur will make people crazy, not acceptable by the society, and nobody wants to frame themselves as entrepreneurs. And I remember I had it like the 10 lines or whatever under Wikipedia, and later on they have been removed from Wikipedia. But it was a very interesting definition. Somebody does not get along, somebody is visionary, he can see stuff nobody else seeing it, he can make decisions that have high risk, which is nobody else will do it. What does it mean? It means I don't want to be this guy. That's right. Anyway, so we know the right people. The third part here, we have to talk about what is the right time. So if I want to design a program that people wants to buy, I want to put it before the right people to buy at the right time. So what is the right time for people to buy your program?
When they have a compelling need.
So can you describe their need? Like, can you describe what is the time when they have a compelling need? Yes, sir.
When their pain is obvious.
So you have to articulate a little bit.
When their pain is great enough that they recognize that a change is
Yes, but
needed.
when this time will come?
So you have to describe the symptoms.
Yes. So when you discover you are paying more taxes than you should pay, or when you are not happy with your taxes, or when you are not happy with the performance of your business, you are not happy with the sales of your business, sales numbers, okay? So what does it mean you are not happy with the sales numbers? How many of you here are looking for people to grow their sales numbers? Okay, majority around the tables, right? So what does it mean you are not happy with your sales numbers?
That means you're stagnant. Like your net income is stagnant, or
How you demonstrate that?
how do I demonstrate that? You've got a cash flow problem
How do you know this is a cash flow problem? The business is running.
because you're tapped out on your credit cards or line of credit.
So you lose money.
You're losing money,
Yeah.
while you're paying
But-
a lot of interest.
So when you lose money, or I can educate you about the norm of the sales numbers in your business. Because we in Canada are so lucky, we have something called the Stats Canada. And the Stats Canada will always share the performance of specific businesses. The performance of a specific business. So they say like hospitality or hotels will make on the average that much profit or that much income. So if I bring business owners here, and I know they are maybe from the car dealership, and I have a statistic which showed that a dealership will sell average of 1 car a week, for example. I can stand here and say, who is here not selling 1 car a week or more? And the ones who are not raising their hands, they are what?
Okay.
They are the candidate for my offer. And who here is selling 1 car and more, 1 car a week average, and they want to sell 3 cars to beat the average? And this is how I can drive their perception that what is the norm on the sales number. So many of us will go and people will say, I can help you sell more. Okay, can you quantify it? Can you say sell more compared to what?
I sell more than 2 cars a week.
Yeah, but compared to what? Compared to an average statistics, right? Or compared to a comparable business owners, which you should be look like you should look alike them. That's right. So if we know that how much profit or how much revenue the average pizza place will make with 1 oven.
2 to 3 million. But it depends on the city. And
Pick up a number.
$1 million? For pizza company? Holy smokes. That's revenues.
That's just right.
Yeah. So they make 2 million. That's right.
It's volume.
But the other thing about stats account too is you can even go deeper, like you can know how much your cost is, and if you have this many employees, you should be making this much revenue, and you have this much expenses. Same thing with taxes, right? It's more than just sales.
And here we'll come to the point is where in your offer, so this is the offer. Each one of these are programs. That's right? So this is the whole offer we do, everything we offer. And each one of these is a program or a seminar or a webinar, whatever it is, okay? So where in this chart you will introduce to them these pain points? And these seminars and these lunch and learns, right? On your website. So if you target pizza owners or pizza stores, the seminar will be what? How to beat the average, or the challenges of making the average, or the challenge to make $1 million revenue as a business, as a pizza store owners. That's right. Along this framework. That's right. Do you agree? So whoever will come to this title, what does it mean? It means he has a challenge of making $1 million or more. So if 5 people will sign up for this seminar, most likely 4 of them should come to your program. Because you are right now in front of your right people, right?
So when you say right time, it's not about striking when the time is right, it's about letting them know, have they experienced these symptoms? And then they would say, yes, I've experienced it. It's not painful right now.
So it's your role to pressure the time to make it right. Your role from the stage is to offer them a solution which they have to learn about it right now, apply it right away, even if they don't need it.
To prevent any future occurrence.
To prevent any future occurrence.
Yeah, because I guess what I struggle with is that usually people will convert when they're feeling the pain, when they're actually feeling the pain. So what you're saying is that you make them feel the pain and then you convert them. Rather than waiting for them to organically feel that pain in their business, you recognize it and then you walk in there and convert them.
To address this comment, as I believe it's a comment, I have to ask you a question. Have you ever met someone who felt the pain and they came to you because he felt the time is right?
Yeah.
How often?
It's a long, it's after 3 years, yeah.
It's a very strong statement to say,
cycle.
I will let people to do organically, they will feel organically. Because in our sales, in our selling through presentation, we have to target urgency.
Right.
And we should put in front of the audience specific bonuses and few things to make them jump right now.
Gotcha, yeah. No, I agree with you 100%.
So when we talk about the right time, so the right time is not Christmas.
No, right time is to create the right time.
So you have to create, if people wants to buy your service, and if you are in front of the right people, it's your job to make the time now to be the right time.
Yeah, because I used to have in telecom, my boss was the #1 salesman in Canada, in Vancouver during the bust, and he did spin selling, which was situation, problem, implication, need, payoff, and he always talked about uncovering the pain, finding the pain, discussing the pain.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so each one of you should spend a minute or two and put what is the right time or what are the right triggers for the right people who wants to buy your service. And if anyone get lost, let me know.
Is there just one pain?
You can list as many as you want. However, you understand now the framework is to always have one at a time, because if you say I work with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, joker of many, master of none, right? There is nothing wrong when people get in depth and they really appreciate what you know. You can show them the diversity of what you do. However, if you be very broad, people will not buy what you do. Does this make sense?
Yeah. So what's better than if you said changing revenue issues or you said declining sales? Sounds better.
These are two different demographics.
Right.
Because it changed revenue, it means somebody recognizes he makes a revenue and he wants to take his business to the next level.
Yeah.
If you say declining sales, it means people who had sales before and the sales right now are not as the same comparable as last year.
Those are the two groups I keep dealing with, but I gotta figure out which one to focus on because I keep going back and forth.
Is there something common between two of them?
Well, sales.
What on the
It has to do with
profits?
technology and change in their business industry that affect their sales. The other one is just market and customer development.
So you have to figure out which one of them.
Okay.
Did you know that Campbell Soup have been announced to shut down the manufacturing facility in Toronto?
Who?
Campbell Soup.
Campbell Soup? Yeah.
Where are they moving to?
Mexico.
I was gonna say that.
Brazil. Did you know that Brazil is now the biggest soybean exporter instead of the US? And they surpassed it by.
You know, they are cutting down the factory and they are basically laying off about 400 people out of 600.
Isn't it the demand has gone down?
And this is a question. Is it the demand have been gone down, or because they add the halal product, it make some conservative reluctant to buy the product because it became more as from a mainstream junk food as a junk soup to be like authentic. We are not racist, we are not religious, but just to give you some trail of thoughts here. Well, this shift made them not respected by their customers, or the global shift of going more like natural and bio kind of
Well, natural foods and more wholesome things.
organics and more organic stuff coming in will make people walk away from preserve
Well, that's what's happening.
soup, you know.
Big thing like the last 10 years was all modify, global, and the next 10 years is going to be more local.
Yeah.
Because it's gotten so big, like all these companies have gotten so big, they can't change as fast, and then this entire industries are changing.
Well, they
Yeah.
can see it coming.
Yeah.
A lot of them should have to shift into.
They're actually just moving to the US according to.
That's what they just got.
Yeah, they are moving to the US. They are moving to 3 locations in the US.
The ones that they already have there, they can maintain that.
You know?
They can accept that
Yeah.
increase
Well,
in
that's a
volume.
trickle effect, right?
They'll just use the real estate for something else and make more money. So
So this is some of the samples of how, like, what kind of right time you can talk about. Okay, so each one of you should have why people wants to buy, who are the right people, and what is the right time. For you, it's easy the right times, right?
Well, I think for mine, I wrote people, not people, but people, the right people in their jobs who will want to be proactive, because they want to keep their project on schedule. They want to keep it on track. They want to maintain.
But when is the right time for them to buy?
When they have a project.
Yeah, so at the start of the constructions or at renovation. That's right?
Or when they're thinking about
Or
it.
when they're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I say, and I'm not sure proactive is kind of it's too generic of a.
But I think it's part of what Weil was saying about the little slots on the timeline. There's when they're thinking about it, what's your message? When they're actually going to renovation and pulling out bids, what's the message? I think that's what he was referring to. So it's a different trigger at different kind of along the timeline.
Okay, so now we want to go to a little bit deeper into figure out what people wants to buy. So you should understand there are two things. What people want and what people say they want. These are two different things. Who agree on that? Okay. So to give you example, we can use from the plane industry, the travel industry. So what people say is they are crammed in seats and the airplanes are crowded, right? But what they want is what?
Lower prices.
Low fares.
No.
Comfort.
What means what? More leg rooms.
Sure.
That's all I want.
That's right.
Yeah.
So people are saying that the airplanes are crowded, they are crammed together, these kids are crying. And what the airline industry is offering them is what?
More legroom.
More legroom. And do they pay for more legroom?
Yep.
That's right.
They do.
So I would like you to do the exercise and say what people say they want. Can you give a couple of examples about your customers, what they say they want?
Yeah.
So can you share?
Yeah. I have customers who say, I want to grow my business by selling more.
Okay.
But what they really want is to be able to scale up. And so build the foundation first and then
So this is a very strong example. So I want to increase my sales
yeah.
by selling more.
Right.
So, and here what you talk about is operation shift.
Yeah. That's what it is.
So the question is, if you sell more, will you make more profit?
No,
Not necessarily, right?
necessarily.
So when you sell more, do you make more profit?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
You can actually make less profit. I've shown people on simple net income.
Okay.
Simple net income projections.
So where will you define this? Where will you, because what you offer, what's your offer?
My offer is, yeah, that's my offer, you're right, yeah.
Not what they say.
But what they say is really goes back to what you were saying before, is what they are feeling, what their trigger is, what they're trying to,
So on this line here, where will you define that?
of what you offer.
Where will you tell your audience this what you say you want, but this really what you have to sign up for?
The info session.
In the info session. Okay? So when somebody comes to me and say, I would like to do a seminar and I will speak 45 minutes, sorry to pick up this example, and then I will sell them for 45 minutes, I'm sorry, you don't talk in your seminar on anything rational to what you offer. All what you should do in your seminar is what? Educate the audience of what? What you say, guys,
And this is what you want.
but this is not necessarily what you want. or is this what necessarily will not help you? So people wants to create a business. So will you help them create a business? You say, no, I don't create a business. I help you incorporate. I help you putting the bookkeeping and the back end of the business, which will make you operate in a very effective, very efficient way businesses, right? But are you creating a business for them? So if you stand in front of them in a webinar and say, or a seminar and say, this is what you believe or what you say you want, and in reality, this is what you need to. To give you a good example here, how many of you here will wants to have more customers and more clients? Almost everybody. What you really want is what? Is a sales presentation to recruit them to buy your service. Okay? If you have a sales presentation or a sales seminar or a sign up intro night or a lunch and learn where people can register at the end to get your service and product, this is what you want. This is what will help you to get what you say you have. This also play with the same concept I was explaining to you, is when you go to a doctor with a pain. If you know where is the pain, do you know what you get for? So if you have like an extra acid in your stomach, do you know what you will get for your pain, right?
Yeah.
So if you have an abdominal pain and you don't know what's the pain about, is it a stomach virus? Will you go to a doctor even? Most likely no. Because the stomach virus after 2 flushes or 3 flushes will almost gone this, right? So if you have an abdominal pain and you don't know what is it, you will go to the doctor to say, I have this pain, I need to solve, and the doctor will give you what you want. And then you go to the clinic, you go to the pharmacy to buy. So this is your job. When somebody come and say, I want to keep my lifestyle, I want to enjoy a better lifestyle, what are you offering them? An elevator is one way to maintain your lifestyle when you be elderly, right? To maintain your independence. So can you write down here, what do you think your customers or your clients will say?
So in other words, the one on the right is the pain that they present, and the want is the solution you offer.
Yes. In another way, these are the symptoms, and this are the solutions. This is what they believe, and they believe me. If they know what exact problems they have, they will not come to you. They will find the solution elsewhere, because they will search it online. They will do different things. That's right. So this is what they believe, and this one here is what they should have. So do you want to share? Someone wants to share what their audience will say?
You haven't given us time to work on it yet.
Okay, just okay. Give you time, 2 or 3 minutes.
I have a couple.
Okay, you wanna?
Sure, then.
You can share that if you want to.
Maintain independence, and the want is ease of use.
Okay.
Go upstairs without pain. A larger size cab that easily fits a wheelchair.
Okay. So how do you use this in your presentations?
By ensuring that that's what we portray in our advertising, is to let them know that we have X, Y, and Z.
And one way to do it is when you stand in front of a crowd, you say, who is here believe, or who is here saying they want 1, 2, 3? And do you know how to achieve it? When the answer is no, you tell them, this is what you need. This is the wants you have. Okay? So people will say they want to sign up more clients. however, they don't have a solid, clear offer, people can pay for it. There are actually individuals who don't have a way to charge credit cards or charging anybody in a business way, and they want to go around and sell products. So they only sell the product on a cash perspective or on a check perspective. So how many of their customers will only pay by cash? How many of you here have a business checks? I know one guy, but how many here have a business checks? You see that half of the room don't have business checks. I don't have business checks. I have an image of a voided check for use, but I don't remember last time I wrote a business check.
I write one a month.
You write one a month, you know, like.
I haven't written one in a while. Everything's electronic now, but I have business checks.
You know?
Exactly.
So
I would have business checks if they weren't $200 a set from the bank.
You don't have to, just go to Staples.
Well, I know, but like I say, when I go to the bank and they say $100 or whatever, I'm like, for 50.
the reason for me to have
What are
business
you
checks is
talking
because
about?
they were offering me
So-
for free. They offer like 50 or 100 introductory package for free. This is the only reason for us to have business checks. That's
Then
it.
I would have, because there have been there's been a few times that paying by check or giving a check would have been easier.
Yeah. So if you are in this business and you want to recruit more customers and you don't have a way to charge people, can you recruit more people? Can you sign up more customers?
No, you're not scalable.
Okay. So what people say is they want to get more customers, they want to grow a business, but what they really want is something different. And it takes a little bit, and it takes efforts for them to shift their mind from here to here. Okay? Do you want to share more?
Well, if people have stress and anxiety, what they really want is peace and happiness.
Okay. So, how you articulate this in your discussions?
I'm not sure yet.
As I said, it's the same way. Is you can ask the question, who's here feel anxiety,
Mhm.
feel what was the other one? Sorry,
Stress. and
stress. Okay, and you are looking for happiness. So you should be able to educate them from here to here.
anxiety.
Well, I think, Mariana, because I know your area so well, that had the experience that you've given me, for you, it's like what they want is they say, I'm not feeling peace, I'm feeling this emotional pain. What they really want is to overcome their limiting subconscious beliefs.
Mhm.
That's what they want, and that's the educational piece. If you say that you're looking for peace, well, that's the other side of the coin is what they want.
Yeah.
But really, what they need or what they don't know about is the fact that they have limiting beliefs running in their system.
Mhm.
That if they overcome that, that would be the root cause of that. And I think that's what you want to say, that this is what they want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Before we leave this point, how do we know what people say? How to get a comprehensive list about what they say they want?
You ask them open-ended questions.
You ask them. You ask them, what make you come to me? Okay?
Like I have somebody come to me and say, I want to improve my company's performance.
Great.
So when they say that, I know they want to reduce their losses, make more money, they want to reduce accidents, finish projects on time, they want to have better skill to identify qualified people to hire.
Do you know that?
I'm talking about construction companies.
Do you know that because you've asked them? Do you know
Yeah.
that because you're supposing that's what they're?
No, I've asked.
You've asked. Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you position, after this nice introduction, how do you position your offer? You say, and now I'm here to offer you.
I can help you with all these things through the workshop, through the training I offer.
Okay.
And
And you don't say I help, because help it's
yeah,
one of these entrepreneurship words, okay? I empower you, I show you, I share with you. I'm not here to help you. Because help, our bodies will help, okay? I am here to offer you a professional training system. A professional training means what? Professional means what? It's made for money, right?
Made
Because
for
people,
money,
people pay professionals.
Mhm.
That's right. When you are a business coach, you have to understand that if there is 100 people in the business, there is 100 business coaches right there, because each one most likely wants to help other people. We are not the business coaches who are helping other people. We are the business coaches who offer professional services. Like I help so many people, you know. Help means what? From my community. I help so many.
Oh, that means it's charitable.
Okay, I help them. Like I help people opening restaurants and shutting down restaurants and running restaurants and increase their customer base, and I show them all the ways, and I was helping them. Did it means I made money? No. So when you are in a business coach in particular, you have to be very careful. That's business coaching. Business coaching is always, if there is 100 business right there, there is 100 business coach are willing to help. Okay? So you are here to offer professional services. Professional service means what? Means made for money. And means you are expert and professional as well. Okay? Do you want to share your what they said?
Yeah, if they say that they want more profit, what they really want is financial understanding of where they're spending and how to improve.
Okay.
Hang on.
Yep. You have a second one?
That's a good one.
No.
So when you ask a question, you say, who is here? And you repeat what they say. And you may want to ask them, if you meet with them in meetup, say, oh, if somebody will say this, oh, do you know that you need that? They say, no, we need this. It's your role to educate them from here to here. Okay? Any more questions?
Well, this is
Okay.
very good, actually.
Please spend the time, and you should have here more like 10, 20 different things people say. Because if you start here and say, I help so many of these, when we talk about the right people, you had so many right people. And if you have different categories of right people, they must have different says as well. Okay? Can we break for 15 minutes and...
Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.